All right, hey you guys. Ooh, Christine from Magenta Goddess. Still figuring this all out. Having the morning sunshine onto my face this morning. All right, nurture your inner child and nurture your children. A little bit of a bonus training in here. Play. Do what you're passionate about. It couldn't be as simple as that. And yes, we're going through a lot of grief at the moment on the planet. If you need some extra support with that, I have a very great, easy, simple, yet deeply valid PDF for you that I can share that Hannah Andrews wrote together with Lucas. I don't know his last name at the moment, but yeah, you can check that out with a lot of tools, insights, meditations, and explaining that deep grief cycle that the world is going through right now. So if you're interested in that, please let me know and I will connect you guys and send that through to you. Highly recommend reading that. You can also print that out and read that offline should we go through times of internet breakdown. At the same time, I wanted to say that it is important that we do nurture our inner child. Yes, it is definitely vital and necessary to feel our emotions at this time, to clear the space and move on. At the same time, don't forget to play. Okay, this is what this is. Tap into your inner child. And even if you tap into your inner child and it does feel like grieving, let it grieve until it doesn't want to grieve anymore, until it can't grieve anymore, until it's over. Okay, and really like hold yourself. This is what the PDF is all about, explaining the different cycles and that it does come in waves. And that understanding just makes it easier for you and gives you more awareness of what you're going through at the moment. So now, because there is also things in your heart, your inner child is burning to do and passionate about. Okay, maybe that births actually from feeling all the grief and feeling all that we are going through at the moment. You know, having enough or finding something that sparks that you're passionate about, that you get fired up about. Do that. It's like, don't let it suppress you any longer and not go and follow your intuition. I was talking in day 2 about trusting your intuition, being transparent. This is what that is all about. It's like almost you have an inner child that says, hey, come, let's do this, let's do that. We really need to do this, we really need to do that. Haven't you seen this yet? Like this doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Let's go, let's do something. They do want to do something about that, right? And sometimes they also just want to play, be in the moment and just be and play. And like, oh, well, we can't do that. We're going all through these grieving times. Well, actually, yes, you can. If it was your child outside of you, what would you do? You would probably try to create the safest and most creative, beautiful, loving, harmonious life that you could ever create for them, although we are going through this. Would you not? Do that for yourself. Especially if you are responsible for children and you're doing it for them, or for your partner, for your family, for everyone else. Do it for you because you need it too, and you are leading the way by example. If you're just again showing up for everyone else, hardening your own energy, your own feelings, and it's like, no, I'm okay, just trying to create harmony and love for everybody else, is not working in the long run. And your kids, so highly sensitive, they feel that. You can't kid someone. Literally kidding, right? You can't kid someone. You can't kid someone. So stop kidding yourself and tap into that inner kid. Tap into your inner child, okay? Stop cutting yourself short. Okay, if you can have fun, you can have so much more fun and easier fun like with your kids. And all your kids learn is, oh, while I'm a child, I can play because mom keeps me safe, but then when I become an adult, it doesn't. This is why I never wanted to grow up. I'm like, I'm not growing up. I'm not growing into one of those sad, running around with your head down, gray looking adults. And it's like I made this pact with my own heart never to ever go there. It's like, I'm not going to become that sad. I love painting. I love colors. I love creativity. I love writing. This is all passion. This is fire that's alive. I love music, dancing, exercise. I love nature. Nature is full of colors, grounding. It's fresh air, breathing. It's this life, right? When I sometimes see adults when I was a kid running around just like this, going along that day, head down. It's like almost even gray. Their skin looked gray, just like sad. Wrinkles look down. It's like that. And I'm like, nah. It's like I made this pact within my heart to never grow up. I would never become an adult like that. And I think instead of saying an adult like that, I said an adult. So this shit with the growing up took me even longer, mate. I'm 32, I'm still working on it, okay? So what I'm saying is, let's get back to seriousness, is that to shoot the fire, we would say in Germany, is to keep that fire alive, that fire within yourself, within that inner child, that what you are passionate about. Where's the passionate card? Yeah, if for me it's painting, for me it's writing, for me it's breathing that fresh air, just being in awe. As I wrote this post the other day of your hands just being alive, and I find that just deeply miraculous, and I'm just in awe of things like that. I'm like, how does this even work? I mean, our brain sends signals, we can move this, and it's connected to the awe, but it's not, because it's its own body. And it's like, it's amazing. It amazes me deeply. Like, I can't even quite tell you the depth of how amazing I find it. And this is what I'm passionate about. This is what lights me up. I want to paint. I want to, be with people and just express myself, express my inner child, and be that, do that. I'll show you something. I have my whole inner child because I get off, Missy, off, you lying on my pictures. The cat. I'm really probably not much of a cat person when I think about it. But hey, what can you do? Here, when I was a kid, painting on massive things, and I've been healing that and tapping in that and bringing all of that back to life. I'm still wearing overall shorts. They've become a little bit different, and jeans and tight and stuff, but in general it's still there. So you don't have to mature and grow up in a way of, oh, we're suppressing play now and we're becoming these adults that are responsible for their families, but that are totally cutting themselves short of their own passions, of their own emotions, of their own life, and of their own dreams. But hey, we are just preaching that our children get to live their own dreams, and that they should be living what they're passionate about, and that I want them to be happy. It's like a piece of bread telling someone that they should be the sun like they are. But hey, you are not the sun, you are bread. You know what your kids do? They get totally disconnected from themselves just watching you. Because in their heart they may be like, oh, sounds amazing, but in their head they see you and go, huh? And it's already like a disconnection, like that doesn't function. That's actually... I don't know if that would be abuse. It is actually abuse in a way. I mean, you're abusing yourself, not being passionate about things, not allowing yourself to be passionate. And then you go out there and preach one thing and live the other, and your kid is just totally like weirdly wired. And then guess what they are living, and guess who they let into their lives. So there are people into their lives that preach one thing and do the other. Oh, I will forever be with you. And then they treat them like shit. Not that you treat your children like shit, but this is the seeds we are planting. It is that easy to end up in some toxic relationships or whatever. It really is. Like, people are, oh, whatever. Yeah, but that's the seeds we're planting. So it's like, and hence why the world looks like the way it does. It's like, oh, it's the politicians, oh, it's them, oh, it's them. We're constantly blaming other people for our own shit, man. Constantly. If you should see Germans, oh, it's too hot in summer. And the winter comes, it's too cold now. Oh, the media does this, or the media does that. I'm like, well, no one told you to get out of bed and go to work. You gotta realize and wake up that you do have a choice, and that you can tap into that inner child and see, where are you blaming yourself, where are you blaming others, and just take back your responsibility and live the life you want to live. It's like, what are you waiting for? If I would tell you like, oh, I really want a family and I want to meet this man, it's like, oh, Christine, stop waiting for that and start living your life, is what you would say, right? But like, what are you doing? Oh, the media, and now this is happening and I can't because of. Okay, maybe it's just a thing of sparking your creativity on how you can do anyways. It's like water. If there's a river of water flowing and someone throws a stone in it, the water is not necessarily going to stop moving. It's just like finding the flow around it, you know. And we are light beings. We are light beings. Even if we would be shut down in the dark, we would still be glowing. It's like we are so much more than that as humans. You're just astonishing. I mean, I feel like I was like buried and covered in shit, right? Yet like we are seeds. Even if we are covered completely in dirt, we're seeds. We're planting, we're growing roots, and we're coming out and we're finding the light regardless, and we're being that and we're shining that. So you want your children to do that? Show them. Show them, and with that give them permission to do that. But don't just sit there in your own grief and despair and do that, because in a way, why? So they can be happy and then it lights your heart up in return. But that's not how it works. You gotta light up your own heart and your own dreams, because even if they live their dreams, it's not gonna light you up if you're still sad inside. If you're sad inside, you will always be sad inside. And if then your kid, let's say your kid does do what you say, it's like, oh great, mom says I should be living my dreams, so I do, and it becomes super, super happy. It lives all their lives. It's like person of their dreams, and they're living all their lives and passions and the career they have or not, or whatever they want to do, right? And they are just fired up, deeply loving you for your parenting. Even if they would share that with you, if you have that grief still sitting there, you wouldn't be able to let that in. You have to feel it and let go of that. It's you. Hence why I'm doing this training. You know, you gotta let go of that. You are the person that lets the light in. You are the person that can open their heart and lift their vibration and rise above all of that. It's you. You know, you gotta do that. Otherwise, you're just creating. You're just like creating some sort of walls where the kid is allowed to shine instead of shining fully without all of that. And I'm not saying don't have boundaries, but boundaries and walls is a different thing. Okay? And you want to share that, because from vulnerability is like, that's what sparks life. That's what sparks your passion, feeling those feelings. I mean, if you tap into that there so deeply, you'll be like, you will be inspired, man. You'll be inspired to express that and then share that with the world. And you'll be like, why have I even held on to that for so long? And trust me, if you can be vulnerable and share that just with someone, you infect people more than the freaking virus rolling around the world right now does, and faster. I'll tell you that. I'm sure of that. 100%. Getting goosebumps saying that. So, people, tap into your inner child. What is it that it wants to do? And let yourself really be in the moment and play. Like, feel that sunshine on your skin. That life. It's almost like someone's knocking there and being there for you. Like that being yesterday in the meditation. You know, you are there fully safe. You are allowed to feel that, to be that, to live that. And it's so important, because right now there's a lot of terror going on in the world, and we feel terrified, and that's okay. It's okay to feel terrified as an adult. You don't have to pretend you have it all together. Well, we all have it together in some way, but we are also all terrified. And this is what I said a few weeks ago, probably already know. Like, you are loved, and we're all humans. We all have our stuff. Everyone. It doesn't matter. And if you pretend you don't, I said yesterday in that intuition training, transparency, your intuition is transparent. Even if you pretend you have it all together but you don't, people pick that up. People that are intuitive pick that up. Your children know that. It's like if your kid runs around and something is off. I said that yesterday, I think, as well. What do you do? It's like, oh darling, what's wrong with you? I feel like there's something going on. You want to talk about it? Don't you pick that up? It's the same with you. People pick that up. Your kids will pick that up. And you know what? If you're running around pretending you're okay, but you're not, your kid will just watch you and learn that from you. Just like it learned how to walk by observing you, how to speak by observing you, how to be with other people by observing you. They will do the same. And if you want them to live your dreams, freaking step up, live your dreams, tap in there, hold yourself, dig into that heart and hold it and allow it to roam and vibrate and get out there, because that is what we're, tapping into what we are living now. Your dreams, desires, your heart wants to express itself and just be. It's tired of everything, and we're so tired of everything else. We're grieving now. Grieve all of that old stuff and choose that new. Choose you. And you'll be like, oh, but we can't, because no, that's just a story too. Yes, you can. Although, and maybe despite, and maybe because it's that shit, and because we don't want to grieve anymore, we just want to be happy and stuff. We want to be in love. We want to be in peace. You can create that no matter what. So don't let that stop you. It's just a challenge in a different way, Be passionate, get creative. As I said, once you tap into those grieving cycles and actually allow yourself to feel all of that's in there, that sparks your ideas. And like, oh, how about we do this? I've actually never seen that before. Yeah, because I was so caught up in all of that. And that's okay. We all do that. It's what is in that moment. It's what you're present with in that moment. The grieving, you can't see behind it because you are right now living through that. That's fine. It's just like someone who's eating dinner right now is not gonna, exercise because they are eating dinner right now. And once they eat dinner, after that they may go for a run. It's not don't run straight after food, but you know what I mean, like that sense of right now we are doing this and then we will be doing that. It's just, don't wait for times to get better. Create them yourself. It's like your inner child is craving you. Be like, let's connect with me, let's play, let's do this, let's do that. Nurture it. Live with a childlike sense of wonder. Oh, this is happening, that's happening. But at the same time, while I'm sitting here at this desk, sun is shining into my face. The fresh air feels so nice. It feels actually quite quiet outside and peaceful. And what else? I feel like doing this today. I feel like doing that today. Do that. Just be and play, like really innocently, right in your body. There's nothing better, more protective and safer and more inspiring you can do. No matter how old you are, by the way. If you're 80 and watching this, or 120 and watching this, if you're 3 and watching this goes for every freaking age. Every age. In your child, there's already a mature adult in there. Just like there's a tiny little baby inside of you of all ages, including the wise people in there too, wise woman, wise man. So tap into that. And I will also drop a little extra video of the broken heart and the children here for you to hear. Well, although I also feel like I will drop that. I feel like dropping that, but I also feel like I also feel like that children, we always say children don't take it on so much, right? Or they're tough, or they adjust easily and stuff, but like, don't take them for granted either. I mean, yes, they're probably happy and they are still masters in living the life they want to live, and like, despite all of that, and they seem to be having fun and be passionate and be joyful easier than we are. But we don't also want to take that for granted in a way that, oh, they are fine, or they are able to do that, like, still work on your inner child so you can raise them and guide them and inspire them to keep that up and grow in that, which is what I would call maturing, to grow in your innocence with your inner child. Because everything else is just suppressing it and throwing stuff on top and on top and on top, and then you're just burying yourself alive. I mean, you maybe a human, but inside you're dead, and no one wants that. Your husband doesn't, you don't on the inside. You may feel in some way you deserve it, or you're beating yourself up for something, but you don't deserve it. And you don't want it, because at the core we all want to play, we all want to be loved, we all want to be heard, we all want to be seen. Let's say in this crisis someone says, oh my gosh, I'm so afraid I'm going to lose my children, I lost my job. If someone would give you a job It's like, oh, you can work for this person. What makes you feel better? Like having your situation fixed, or someone saying, oh my gosh, I really hear how scared you are right now that you lost your job. You'd be like, oh. Once you feel heard, you feel relaxed. And then you can think for yourself how you want to tackle that problem and find a solution. But sometimes we just need to be heard and seen in where we're at to move on again. So I think what I'm saying is no one can really fix your situation but you anyways. I mean, yes, we can help each other out and that's great. I'm not saying it's just you all the time, but this feeling heard, this validating of your feelings and emotions, to them be clear again and come from that place of innocence, is sometimes what's more valid than finding that new job or having your family be safe. Because let's say let's say you are in this emergency situation where your family isn't safe, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, my family isn't safe. And someone takes you into a safe space and gives you all of that and gives you a new job and gives you food and gives you all of that. There will eventually still after you having that, there will eventually still be a moment where you just drop and your feelings be like, oh my gosh, and you will still be pouring your eyes out and feeling all the grief and feeling all that uncertainty and feeling the fear of losing them, feeling before you then can come back to yourself and actually live that and enjoy that and move on and again find the next step. Like feeling your emotions and being with you and doing you in that way. With doing you, I mean feel those emotions. Do the painting when you feel like painting. Do the surfing when you feel like surfing. Do whatever it is that you want to do when you feel like doing it. Is more important than you having all your shit together or pretending things are fine or playing happy family and happy times. Because you're blaming the media for lying to you, for misinforming you, for playing you, and nothing makes sense and nothing adds up. Yeah, but you are standing there to your family saying, no, I'm fine. Totally suppressing your own emotions, pretending all is well, creating this happy life for them, while inside of you, you're fucking scared. You are grieving. You are uncertain. You're terrified. You're doing the same thing. This is what I mean. If you look into yourself, you may not do it the same way you feel like it's happening to you, but in a way you are doing that to someone else, to yourself first. You say you don't deserve this, and they are doing it to you. They are doing it to you. You point one finger, 1, 2, 3, pointing back at you still. Where are you doing that to yourself? This is what I mean when I preach and say that all the time. So stop that. Take off all these masks and layers and walls and get back to yourself and do you and be getting fired up about this. Stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending. And there's a reason why you're doing this. What are the consequences? What are you afraid of? What are the consequences of you being passionate? What are the consequences of you being innocent and childlike? What are the consequences you are afraid of? That's why we are not doing it sometimes. It's not that we're doing it on purpose or we are evil. It's just that we are wired that way. Someone else has taught us that. Maybe the media did in some way influence it, but it's also not the media's fault. Maybe we have taken that on, but still we are the one that are responsible to lift all of that. I don't like how the cat is jumping on the table and my phone is wiggling here all the time. I hope that isn't too distracting. So I hope that makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you understand this? Does that make sense? I hope it does, because that's what's happening. And if you want to change your world, you change that. You don't just run and I don't know, drag someone in front of that. Maybe, darling, you gotta stop jumping off my table. It's distracting. No table. No. Try to teach a cat. Still in hunting mode. Anyway, so what did I want to say? What did I want to say? That inner child, because if you're also hard on yourself, even if you don't want to, you are ultimately hard on your children too, in a way. You just can't help it, because it comes through that. If you can't be loving and 100% nice to someone, if you can't give that to yourself and be there for yourself, if you're pretending within yourself, you will not be able to be pure for someone else. It just is that way. I actually wanted to tap more into this, really play, you know, like this is what the card invites. Play for you. Tap into that heart and just really be innocent and give to yourself. No jumping off the table. No jumping off the table, please. No. She does here. It just takes a while sometimes. And play, you know, like when you are a kid and you're just like on this mat and playing with your toys and just being in so much joy and happiness in that moment, just sitting there and looking at them, playing with them and being free of all worries, of anything that you have to do, you know. That's that kind of thing that I'm talking about. So if you can get in there, that would be fabulous. You'd be safe, you're grounded in your body. Nothing really can hurt you in that moment, because we are creating our own world despite anything else. People are still birthing children in those times. People are still surviving despite other people dying. People are still creating their multi-million-dollar businesses while the economy is crashing. You know what I mean? I mean, yes, maybe you are affected by that in a way, but you're still moving up. It's still possible. You still have an influence on your own life. It's your choice. Once you realize that you have created all of that by yourself, you will realize that you can create whatever it is you want to do whenever you want to do. It's just, as I said, sometimes it's creative, and also that's also sometimes why we open up to abundance and not just money, because abundance is more than that, and allowing ourselves to tap into my little hunter, darling cat, tapping into ourselves and our intuition and strengthen that connection with ourselves. We also we get those intuitive nudges on where to invest our money, so that we will be, ow, I'm not a cat tree, darling. Ow, no. That's what that is for. Here, that's the cat tree. So, we are tapping into all of that wisdom and the knowledge and the, what do you call it? So that you invest your money into, you know, if you feel intuitively to invest your money into gold, let's say, and then that's like gold is coming in and becoming, you know, whatever higher in the stock market and stuff. You have a better overview of what, and your intuition guides you on where you need to be. And if you have dreams and you are passionate about things that is totally outside of any of that, well, then you will be guided and you will be fine regardless, and you will be living your life despite whatever anyone else is using as a currency or not, or what is going on. You know, I mean, yes, of course, you're always looked after in that, and this is what the being yesterday was all about. You are always looked after, because in a way we are here to master that too. It's base chakra, right? Money, surviving, all of that connection. But just realize that just because you don't have money doesn't mean you are not wealthy or you can't do certain things. It's not what do you call it? It's not connected or detached to that. It's just not saying, oh, I will never have a baby again because right now I don't have a man or something. It's like how do I explain that to you? It's not detached or forever in that. It's not just because something is not there in your life right now doesn't mean you can't get there or can't have it or can't create it or can create what it is that you want regardless. you know, because sometimes like, okay, what does that feeling that it gives you, and how can you create that already? Even if you don't have anything, you still have your mind, you still have your soul, you still have your heart. Again, like yesterday, you still have yourself to connect into and create from there. Sometimes things have to be ripped off and taken away in our lives for us to create what we are not and who we actually are, and what we are passionate about, and what we, you know, what we want to do, and that we are actually in those moments can still be happy. We still have happy moments. When I lost everything, I was almost happiest, because then I didn't have anything I was responsible for. I had to hold or get to another level or layer or whatever. I didn't have anything. I was like, yay! I was so happy, right? There was nothing I had to worry about. There was nothing like I had to take care of or something. It's like everything was gone. No job, no money, no car, no furniture, no nothing. It was like, and I was so happy. I felt so happy. Finally I was so free. And I was like, I'm worrying about my child, I'm worrying about, you know, rent, I'm worrying about my broken car, I need a new car, and not a car, and what, like all these sort of stuff, right? You can get so caught up in that, but at the same time you can find your moments where you're just so happy. Don't you have moments where you feel so in love with your partner sometimes, or your children, or just with yourself, or enjoying cooking a great meal or whatever, despite all the terror going on inside? And you can create, you can practice that and harness that, and bring that back to life. What is the word? Das schüren, das Feuer schüren, that really cultivating is the word. Cultivating that feeling, that heart space, and your inner child is the key to get there and stay safe, be safe, feel safe. Play with your children after that, you know. Connect with them. You connect with them on a whole nother level. And you will drop the judgments, you will drop the walls that you have, you know, the grief. And if they are grieving, you know that they will be fine, because you can hold them now and tell them it's going to be okay. You have a deeper connection. And then they can be even happier. Like, oh wow, mom taught me all of this when I was a kid. Oh wow, you've got such amazing parents. Yeah, thank you. Because, you know, we would just want to live our life. And this is what I'm always saying, what I'm passionate about. This should be normal. There should be a lot of happy adults running outside that are free and innocent and joyful and passionate, and not like fearing and grieving and terrified. I mean, yes, maybe it belongs to life right now, but in general it should be normal to be happy. It should be normal to be free. This is what we came here for, okay? Despite everything else. And just remember, happiness comes from knowing that what we're going through is an emotion and a time, but it's not going to last forever. And this is what happiness is. It's not necessarily not grieving, it's not going through challenging times, but it's knowing that we are not that. That's where the happiness is, detaching from that reality and realizing, oh, I'm experiencing this, I'm observing what's going on. I have to have this experience because I'm growing from it and I'm learning something out of it. But at the same time, I know I can choose. I'm not that. I'm my own creator. I'm my own being. I'm eternal. Like, does that make sense? That's where the strength comes in, the knowledge, the happiness, the joy. I'm like, ooh, tap into that, you know? Okay, I hope that helps. That made sense. I didn't want to actually talk too much about it, but I'll drop that tool for you as well. So if you want to mend a child's broken heart, let's say your kid is broken or terrified or something, do you want me to share that? All you ever do is take their heart and say, look, Mommy, I'm just so terrified, I'm so sad. And all you do is you give that to them. You say, okay, do you want to give me a really sad heart, and I'm going to have a really happy, joyful heart here for you. And then you pop that into their chest and see what happens. Do that to them, do that to yourself. And let me know what you think, and what you feel, and what you observe. And if you're still doubting. I love you a lot, you guys. Stay safe, be happy, and play today. Bye.